Oh, boy. It
That
has
was
finally,
Heavenly Godfather music, I guess.
it has finally happened. Brandon Perna has won an underdog pick'em.
I'm a winner. I did it. The streak is over. The streak is over, Tom, and I lit a candle in prayer. Thank you for making me a winner.
Gonna give you a few minutes. Oh, baby. We here.
We stare.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is G a P S. And holy God, what the hell was that last night? It's the end of the world. Brandon Perna's out here winning pick'ems. The Raiders are scoring 63 points after 4 days prior scoring 0. It is truly madness in the NFL, and somehow Brandon Staley is also not fired yet.
You don't fire a Brandon mid-season. That's all I'm going to say.
Except if you're Brandon Staley. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is interesting, right? Like, I thought about this a lot during the game.
Did you?
Yeah, because if the Raiders get 70, then they can lord it over everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like, they had a chance to score the most points in the game by any team. And I don't know if I want the Raiders to have that record. But yeah, taking the heat off the Broncos for the 70 steamer this season would have been nice.
Now, here's the thing, though. Wouldn't it have been better if, like, it was against the Chargers? Because, like, thinking about it from the Chargers' perspective as another division rival. But I know you don't hate them as much as you hate the Raiders.
Yeah. If the Raiders had done that to the Chiefs, I would have been all in on the Raiders setting the record.
110 points. Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. Not even close to any team even thinking about being able to break that record. I would have loved to give you that, Raiders.
You'll give them points from your game. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, you want to bang?
Bam.
For the kitty. Appreciate you. Yeah, listen, Raiders fans, it's after not scoring a single point on Sunday, it's going to be like one of the greatest performances.
I love this football season.
I do too.
It's so much fun. It's been a roller coaster. It's been all over the place. Every time you think you know something, some team comes out and says, "You don't know shit, idiot. So shut up, sit down, enjoy the game, and just stop thinking. Stop thinking about this season. Because as soon as you have a thought about something, wrong, you're wrong." And I wasn't even going to watch that game last night. Tom, I was like, you know what? Let me take one night off Thursday Night Football because I'm tired of it at this point. Uninteresting matchup, right? Who cares? Easton Stick versus Aiden O'Connell. Two teams basically out of the playoffs. The Raiders still technically in the mix. Didn't think it was going to be a good game.
You're right.
And then they pulled me back in. They did. They pulled me back in. And I was like, you know what? I got because we didn't do an underdog pick 'em before this game because they weren't available yet for me. So I was like, let me do an underdog real quick because I need to have something to keep me interested.
Sure.
In the fourth quarter of this game. And of course, this game with
this is the one. Dick. How'd the hockey one go, by the way?
I didn't get it. I'll pull it up. Let me just pull it up now. Because this is going to help talk about this game right now.
Let's go.
Buckle up. We're going to have some fun.
Yes, we are. That's what happened last night, unless you were a Chargers fan. I mean, like, it's a big day. It's a big day. And I want to talk about this from so many different perspectives. And I think like the number one question I have is how?
Hi, Spencer.
And like how could this happen? From the Raiders perspective, from the Chargers perspective, how the hell? Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. So this was the hockey one.
It's
I knew
the
Jesper.
Suns.
I knew Jesper Bratt wouldn't let me down. That was
Core.
that was
Core.
close. 18. Eric got 8. Dang. Okay. Anyway,
Brock let you down though.
so I was like, let me do a pick 'em real quick. Underdog Fantasy code GPS. Make sure you use that when you sign up. And I was like, you know what? I actually like all of these picks for higher because Jacoby Myers at 8 points. I thought that was low. Maybe it's just because I watched him like destroy the Broncos this season, but like as he's underrated. Keenan Allen was out, so I'm like, I love Josh Palmer at 7.65 points. And then I'm like, you know what? I keep riding with backup QBs.
Yep.
I was like, I'm going higher on Stick. I go, you know what? I'm going higher on Aiden O'Connell too. 11 points for each of those guys. Zach Wilson's hit for me. Tommy DeVito's hit for me. Jake Browning's hit for me. So I'm going to stick with my backup plan.
All right.
And of course, it was this game. It was this game that got me my very first ever pick 'em. So if you guys don't know, I was 0-53, 0-54 on this, and now I'm a winner. And my only regret, I didn't wager more.
Brandon, that's the thing. Compared to how much you have lost this season,
yeah,
it's gonna be a while. But hey, you know what? You know what's really crazy? My Steelers streak ended, right? And then your streak has ended.
Now I'm a little scared the curse wheel streak's going to end. Now
Me too. Finally, when you curse the Lions, how come that couldn't happen last week, you douche?
Sorry.
Maybe, Daniel, just a little bit. We might be in a cave a tiny bit. Sorry.
Did I set another pick 'em? Yeah, I got a little horny last night and said, you know what? Let me get this Broncos game going. Higher. Went lower on Goff because the Broncos will be beating Goff on Saturday night.
Well, so, all right, listen, we're going to talk about this game because there's a lot to break down. Can we focus on like the Raiders perspective and then we'll move to the Chargers? Okay. So for the Raiders, this is a team that, first of all, Vikings fans might be looking around right now going, do we have the greatest defense of all time? Because they contained the Raiders to 0 points on Sunday. And then on Thursday, that offense scored 63 without Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. You know, the Chargers were Chargers fans were trying to be like, we're injuries. Both teams missing some key guys. Yeah. Devontae Adams was sick going into that game. He was maybe not even going to play. So there's just no excuses. No team should score 63 points. I said it when the Broncos got 70 put on them. Like, this should not happen in the NFL. I think this game is more of a defensive highlight for the Raiders because the Chargers fumbled 5 times. The Raiders recovered 4 of those fumbles, right? I think they scored touchdowns off of all of those fumbles. If they don't, there's like only 1 in there. A scoop and score, a pick 6. And so like, I'm going to recap this for a new worst ever today. And so when I was going through, I was like, let me look at how many yards the Raiders put up on the Chargers. And it's like 378 yards of offense, which is good.
But it's not
3 points good.
Yeah.
The Dolphins had 726 yards of offense against the Broncos. Like, that's a very lopsided ass kicking. That is one offense just dominating another defense. It was 10 touchdowns, none of them by the Dolphins defense. The Raiders got 2 defensive touchdowns, and they were in a lot of short yardage situations, and they just scored every single one of those times. It was a very well executed game by the Raiders. I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but like, nobody thinks that the Raiders can do this again. You know what I mean? They're not going to score 63 points again. After that Dolphins game, we're like, is Miami going to like put up like 50 points
every game? Yeah.
And no, of course they didn't. But
yeah, because it's Blue Kitty goes meow. It's Blue Kitty's. It's got to be Blue Kitty. Well, and so here's like why that is true. It's the end times now. This is why this is really interesting because it is really difficult to score 63 points in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, it is incredibly difficult. And you would think that with the amount of, like, how do I put it this way? I'm surprised there was only, like, one scoop and score and one pick six.
Yeah.
Like, with the amount. But they had Jacoby Myers throwing touchdowns out there.
Idiots.
And so, like, from the Raiders, I think maybe you, of course, have Sunday's game where you didn't score any points, probably weighing on you.
Yeah.
Right? But getting to, like, the Chargers' perspective, dude, like, their defense isn't that bad. Their defense, like, can be good. We see Khalil Mack have, like, crazy games. Like, the pass rush is pretty good. But for that, and all the things that I saw were, oh, man, like, does this mean that the team is just giving up on Brandon Staley? Because, like, they've had a rough season. Justin Herbert goes down, which is kind of like the cherry on top of the crap pie. And now there's, like, yep. I don't know. I don't know if I buy into that because, like, your job is still up in the air, right? Unless you are, like, a bona fide starter. I just think, like, what do you think led to this and the Chargers getting 63 points scored on them, 42 in the first half? Like, is it just a season wearing them down and they're playing on a Thursday and they just lost their franchise QB and Brandon Staley is not a defensive genius?
Yeah. Yeah. All of that short week and the devil. Probably Satan had something to do with it. But, and it was just one of those halves. It was one of the worst halves of football by any team. That it was the worst half of football by any team.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say the Broncos' second half to the Dolphins was close, but they were down 42 at halftime, 42-0 at halftime. God, I can't talk. They were down 42-0 at halftime.
Yep.
I think just 3 points away from the record for most points in a half. It was like nothing went their way, right?
Yeah.
Easton Stick's fumbling. Everyone else is fumbling.
Yep.
The Raiders are just wide open every play. It's just amalgamation of all the things you said, I think, led to it. And they came out, they played better in the second half. And I was sitting there it was like late in the third quarter. And the score's 40, I think it's like 49-7 or 49-14. I forget what it was at that point. And I'm just hoping and praying that the Chargers don't let the Raiders score any more points because I don't want to do a video about this game.
Sure.
I was like, I don't want to, I've got stuff going on today. I finally got ahead. I worked hard to get ahead. And I'm like, if I can just not do a video about this, I don't want to fuck up my Friday. And so I'm watching it. And then Jess and I are trying to watch something. And then we were setting something up. So I turned away from the game for, I swear to God, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I'm like, I think this is good. Like the Raiders, they might score another touchdown, but I don't have to talk about it. I will not be willed by the football gods to talk about it. And I look back and the score is 63 to, I'm like, what happened? I looked away for 2 seconds and they scored twice.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, they might score 70 now. Even at 63, I'm like, I don't have to talk about this game in a video. But dear God, like, it's just nothing went right for the Chargers at all. And
that is,
it felt like they gave up. I don't know. It's like the funniest stat I think from this entire game. Well, there's 2 stats I think are hilarious. One, Hunter Renfrow had 0 receptions,
dude.
And also, 4th and 1, the Chargers went for it on 4th down one time. And still did not convert on 4th down.
Dude, Eckler, like, is he just done now?
I guess he's dead.
I think he's just done. I think that's like, put a fork in it. Like, it is unfortunately done. Because, one, they barely utilized him. Like, they have Isaiah Spiller out there, right? They got Joshua Kelly out there. And they can't even convert, 4th and 1 when they hand it to him.
Yeah.
So, dude. That was a
was
crazy pick
insane.
six.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool. It's gonna very much be like swept under the rug because of the score of this game.
Yeah.
And so one of the supers, just to hop back to the Raiders real quick, I think there's two questions for the Raiders going forward. Well, the third one, if you want to look at the other super chat, saying, are they going to even score 63 points in the remaining games? And I don't think they will. But is AOC the guy? And I feel like this performance has, again, still 3 games left, but I think has awarded like, hey, let's wait and see. Let's give him a shot, potentially.
Yeah, like I think they showed like when you protect him, give him some time, like he can read the field, he can make all the throws, and he was very, very good. I think we're all kind of rooting for him too, right? Like,
yes,
we're all rooting for him. If he's not the guy, you keep him because you have a guy. And if this season taught us anything, quarterbacks are not safe. NFL can try to protect them. They can make the rules stupid, but those mother lickers are getting hurt at no matter what.
Yeah.
And you need somebody back there. The one thing I thought was very funny with that Jack Jones pick six. Do you know why Jack Jones is on the Raiders?
Isn't the Raiders?
The Patriots traded J.C. Jackson back to the Chargers traded J.C. Jackson back to the Patriots, and then the Patriots weren't loving Jack Jones.
Yeah, they wound up getting rid of him.
They finally had the depth, and then they cut him. So it's just one more example of that J.C. Jackson acquisition for the Chargers not working out at all.
So, AOC, what about Pierce? Because that's gonna be a question too.
Yeah, that's tough. Because after last week, I'm like, I don't think he's gonna get the gig.
You have to wait. Like, you have to see how these 3 games go.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be, because otherwise, it's difficult. Like that. I mean, listen, they are going to be paying Josh McDaniels a lot of money. I don't think it'd be the worst thing, but they have to finish like these next 3 games, either like on a somewhat winning streak or at least very, very competitive.
Yeah.
Have to.
I mean, they get the Chiefs in their next game, so they get some rest for that game. And I think I'll be rooting for the Raiders to beat the Chiefs, which will be nice. Then they have the Colts, and they still got to play the Broncos once. So the Raiders got they got kind of a tough schedule going forward. I think it was DNVR Broncos tweeted out, like, do Broncos fans feel more concerned about their upcoming matchup with the Raiders after this game? And I said no, because I still don't think the Raiders are like that good. I think it was a weird game. But I feel less good about the Broncos beating up on the Chargers last week. Like, we only scored 24 on the Chargers. Maybe we should have scored like 40 or 50 in that game. So that would be my concern.
Yeah. First of all, do you finally recognize the Raiders defense?
No. Not till the season's over. Fine. I'll say this. The Raiders defense has gotten better. And you could probably credit Antonio Pierce for that, right? He's helped get that defense better. Do I think they're a great defense?
Dude, they're a top 10 defense.
Not yet. That's fine.
Yeah, they're still a top 10 defense. They're still top 10 defense. Dude, Max Crosby is he's so good.
Crosby's been good. I'm not denying Crosby.
Okay. So going back to the Chargers, if you're the Chargers, one, I feel like the Justin Herbert slander, never again. Like, I think Mina Kimes sort of tweeted out, I was like, so does Justin Herbert get MVP? Like, just like covering all of this up. One. And then 2, dude, if you're Brandon Staley, first of all, that post-game press conference, woof. Like, you already know things are not looking good, and you're sitting on the sideline, and it's 42-0 at half. There's no way, right? Like, there's no way, Brandon, that he keeps his job. There's no way.
It's the Chargers.
There is no way.
Chargers, Tommy. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I think everybody wants him fired today, right? But I don't think the Chargers will do it now. They'll just wait till the season's over, then they'll fire him. So you just gotta be patient. Yeah, he's not done anything to prove that he should be a head coach.
No.
And he comes from the defensive side of the football, right? Like that's supposed to be the Chargers supposed to be good on defense.
Yeah.
And they have been at some times, but
so here's the thing though, Brandon, because now it's like, all right, I saw that too. What about Kellen Moore? Like his offense ain't looking too good either.
No.
You know, and it's one thing because, and I'm glad that it happened this way, because if this was gonna happen, it wasn't Easton Stick throwing like 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
Because then they could have been like backup QB. That's it. No. They could not stop the Raiders offense all night. Like they couldn't stop them. The offense was bad. Everything was bad. And I know that like there was a bunch of people in the chat going, I pray that someone asks if Brandon Staley's still going to coach the defense after this, after he flipped out on them the last time. And now, I mean, because he was asked, you know, do you think you deserve to still be the head coach? And he goes, I do. I know what I've done in the past 3 years. I think fans are just so done. And if this wasn't the nail in the coffin, then I don't know what would be. Because it really doesn't get too much worse than this.
Yeah.
Like
a scandal. He needs a scandal, possibly.
Dude, I'm legitimately surprised that he's still there this morning.
Yeah.
I am. Because like this, a lot of people were comparing it to the Broncos and that Christmas Day game against the Rams. And it was just like, it's got to the point where it's like, okay, no, now it's just a statement that needs to be made now.
Yeah, it's just like, it's
Brian
the Chargers
Flores.
ownership. Like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yep.
The Broncos firing of Hackett, that's new ownership. I think they're trying to get out in front of it saying, we made a mistake. We realized we made a mistake. And when we realize we don't get something right, we're going to act on it. So I think that was part of it for the Broncos and my Lord and Savior Walmart. So respect to them. I just can't say enough about the great people of Walmart and what they've done to this great city of Denver. But yeah, I don't know what the Chargers do. Like if they fire him today, it's fine. If they wait and fire him later, it's fine. If they keep him, then it's not fine. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think so. It's got to be done.
But like
Elliot,
this is what's crazy, right? It's Aiden O'Connell, 248 yards, 4 touchdowns. Zamir White, just 69 rushing yards. Brandon Bolden had a touchdown, just two carries for 20. It's not like
these are normal stats for a game.
Yeah,
like these.
It was just they were
normal.
always like in striking territory, and they struck every single time. You go down. It's like the fumbles. You know,
dude, Joshua Palmer had more yards than the leading receiver, Devontae Adams. Like,
yeah,
I know one of them was that big play, but
yeah. And did you see the tweet where they posted Easton Stick throwing that pass to Josh Palmer and showed the exact same play, Justin Herbert throwing to Keenan Allen, and he misses the throw?
Yep.
Oh, see that?
Good.
I was gonna say that hurts Herbert's MVP candidacy right now.
Elliot, that's a really, really good point. Like, and that's why, like, I think it might happen that they keep Pierce, because you could argue they made that mistake by not retaining Bisaccia. Will they make the same mistake? And that's why I think these next 3 games will be like really, really important.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he winds up sticking around. But
I think it makes logical sense to keep him. We already know like all the guys like him. And I think the Raiders, it's about talking to Pierce and identifying like what the issues were with McDaniels outside of like coaching, and how Pierce wants to correct those things. So I think it's evaluation, draft evaluation. It's how they approach free agency, and it's how do they get their offense to be consistently like very good. And they have a tough decision. They do have to figure out Aiden O'Connell. Can they upgrade the quarterback position? Are they cool rocking with O'Connell? But yeah, they like when you fire your coach in the middle of the year, you buy yourself a year to figure it out. Like nobody expects you to be good. So I think they got a year to figure it out with Pierce, and they should give him all of next season to see what they can do with him before they go and try and get a name. And I swear to God, if they bring back Gruden, I will be the happiest man on earth. If they bring him back, but
if I had a broken thumb and it was 42-0 at halftime, I'd be sulking too. I don't think that's a negative against Herbert, but I imagine that will be a talking point on some random ass show today.
Did you see the way his face looked while he was not playing and losing?
Listen, Tommy DeVito and a Zach Wilson, little Jersey boys over there. So,
yeah,
just saying, this is the NFL. Tommy DeVito, Zach Wilson, players of the week. And the Raiders just scored 63 after scoring 0 on Sunday. That's this season. That is this season, the NFL.
Yeah. I feel like this means the Broncos and Lions will tie.
Probably, yeah.
They both need a win in that game. And when both of those teams really need a win, it feels like they don't get it.
That's fair.
They're going to tie. Broncos, Lions, 0-0 tie in overtime.
They can go coach great defenses together. Forever. Yeah, that's like the only silver lining for the Chargers fans, I feel like, today. It's just like Staley's probably going to be gone.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I mean, because you do need to bring in a guy. Like, I hate to say that, but like a Bill Belichick now would look even like after that game last night, I was like, it just makes sense. You have your quarterback. That defense ain't going to be letting up 63 points with Bill Belichick. It's just not.
No.
Like, there's no shot. And so someone, I think Nagler tweeted about this. He was like, say what you want about, I know Telesco needs to go. Oh, I'm very aware. I mean, so does the ownership, but that's a whole different story. I think Nagler tweeted this out talking about how, say what you want about LaFleur, but you don't see like a team give up on him. It does seem, I think for the most part, while there are guys still trying to retain their job, like, there was not a lot of fight left in that Chargers team last night. Like, dude, it was just like, all right, this is happening now. Like, it was a beatdown, and there was really no reprieve. And the Raiders could have scored more. Like, they could have, at the very end, at least.
Maybe they took their foot off the gas a bit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, I'm trying to find
dude, that's why Herbert got that money. And, like, I'm telling you, like, him being back there, because Perna talked about that. He's like, Easton Stick came in against the Broncos, didn't look too bad, was like completing some passes. Quentin Johnston will have a good game, and he had a touchdown this last night. But no, it's different. A good quarterback masks a lot of issues. And I'm speaking as a Packers fan, because Rodgers did that for a while. So...
we can add a stick to the list now, Tom. We can add a stick to the list.
You can. It's really on theme. It really is. We talked about this Wednesday. Yes, I think Dak Prescott's 1,000,000% an MVP contender. What he's been doing for the last month? Absolutely.
The Chargers have got to be one of the most cursed franchises with quarterbacks. They get good quarterbacks.
You
go like Dan Fouts was a really good quarterback. Didn't win shit. Phillip Rivers didn't win shit. Had Drew Brees, was not good. Left, was better with the Saints. Won a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert, they haven't won anything. It's like they figured out the hardest part. They get the good QB.
They get their guy.
They can't put it together. It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah. Well, but that's the Chargers, though, right? The Chargers almost win every single offseason. And we're like, okay, this is it. But it's a combination of the coach doesn't work, ownership is kind of consistent over there, but or the defense is an issue or whatever. Something goes wrong. And I feel like that's just been the Chargers for a very, very long time. And yeah, that happens to coaches all the time. It does not. It does not. Nay.
Who was the Chargers quarterback when they went to the Super Bowl and got destroyed by... Was that Stan Humphries?
I don't even remember who it was.
When they got just beat by the 49ers Yeah, Stan Humphries.
There you go.
The time they get to the Super Bowl, Stan Humphries is their QB. Good God. That is a curse. That's a curse.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm sorry, Chargers fans. Like,
Yeah,
I hope
it's not good.
I
take no
hope
joy. I take no joy in it.
I do. I hope things turn around. It's just at this point you're looking at that team, and I feel like last night was a good summation of the Chargers season and like how fans would be like, we have just been trying to go along and it just all fell apart last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like being held up, Herbert keeping it going, keeping it somewhat competitive, and it just all came crashing down last night.
Yeah. Maybe you just said this when I was zoning out looking for things, but the big benefit of firing Staley right now is you can take a look at Kellen Moore, right?
Yes.
Right. Did you say that earlier?
I mean, I don't know if Kellen Moore is the guy, is what I'm
No,
saying.
but at least you can like. I think you want an offensive guy to run your team. I really do.
Have to,
unless it is Belichick. Okay, I'll get. He's the caveat there, but like,
true.
Let Kellen Moore get an eval on him. Because he hasn't helped the offense a lot, but like maybe you want your offensive guy calling the plays, and maybe he's hamstrung a little bit by Staley. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
hire Jimmy G as your head coach.
We talked about culture on Wednesday, and talked about like Bill Belichick coming in, making his own culture. We don't know if his culture works anymore, what have you, have you. What the hell would the culture be for the Chargers? And I mean that legitimately. You know, they're in LA. You know, Brandon Staley's there. There's not an identity. It's Justin Herbert and a good social media team. And I like the Chargers a lot. And I think they have really great players. But it's constantly like Amazon is defining chargering on primetime last night. I know it's like that's funny, but dude, as a franchise, like that's embarrassing, man. Like if that's your label and that's what the franchise is known for, that is an embarrassment. And it's like, oh crap. And it's like Benkert. I think this was like last year or something. He was explaining the culture in Atlanta and was talking about like the Michael Vick curse, that there's that idea when things go wrong, it's like, oh crap, it's going to snowball and continue to go wrong.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing. And it's just, dude, like somebody has to come in and culturally change the team and like give them an identity that it's not blowing football games.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That is fair.
He's up for it. I say Stefanski's up for it. Dude, if they make the postseason, all the guys they've lost.
I'd say Stefanski got bailed out by Joe Flacco. I'd give Joe Flacco coach of the year. Comeback player of the year.
You sat here last Friday.
Yeah, I was wrong.
I admit when I'm wrong. No. Then you can't go, no, Joe Flacco's
wrong.
He's carrying Stefanski.
Joe
Flacco.
Joe Flacco, just like he carried Harbaugh, just like he carried Harbaugh to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God,
Stefanski.
Ryan's up there too.
Until Flacco saved his burning ass. And it took more.
Can you
than
imagine? That'd be funny. That would be really, really funny. Yeah, that's fair. Chargers, again, you have an opportunity. I don't know if it'll go well to like kind of clean slate. You know, you have your franchise guy, and now it's like bring somebody in who's literally going to change everything.
Yeah,
because it has to be. Because if you just continue trying the things like the way they are, and like Brandon Staley getting this job, how many years did he have as a defensive coordinator? Like it wasn't
2.
It wasn't that many.
1 or 2.
Right? It was like
because he was
good.
It might have just been 1. He was in Denver as a linebackers coach, and then he went to LA and
happy holidays.
Was there with McVay, right? Before they brought it? Did he replace Wade Phillips there, or did he go after Wade? I can't even remember the timeline.
Yeah,
anymore.
1 year as the Rams DC.
Yeah.
I think it's just 1. Which, even in that case, it's like, dude, like he's got 1 year like as a DC, and you're like, here you go, here's the head coaching job.
Yeah, they're trying to get that young coach. They're trying
Did not work.
No.
Did not work. So I don't know, man. It's they need some. They would be the guy like you need to bring in a veteran. Like that one I didn't do well. Like you were talking about the Patriots need to bring in like a young like upstart guy. Chargers I think need the opposite. They need a guy who be like, hey, let's set a culture, what have you, to kind of go forward. Because Ron Rivera, and I know he's going to probably lose his job at the end of the year, and you could have made an argument for last season too, but I think he did help change a culture in a very bad situation in Washington. And now they're going to they got new ownership and stuff, and they'll do clean slate, what have you. But even just to change that mentality, I think would make a big difference. Because look at what Pierce has done with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
The Chargers should try and hire Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, right. I don't think Harbaugh's going anywhere. Personally, I don't think he's going anywhere.
To LA? Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah. He likes his scandals up there in Michigan. He likes cheating up there in Michigan and not really paying for it.
You want to preview some games?
Imagine making what does he make, like $10 million a year or something?
They're not previewing. Oh God, we have
and he just gets to cheat all he wants.
All right, Brandon, don't do anything. I have a legit question for you that I want you to answer minus the usual insanity.
Okay.
I had a really tough time with power rankings this week. Like, I know you forgot the Eagles. You just forgot.
I did.
So I know I'm probably asking this to the wrong person. Was it difficult for you to actually do a power ranking this week? Because with what happened this past week, I was like, I don't know. I got no idea. Because it was tough putting the Lions in. It was tough, even like with the Jaguars, the Chiefs. And I was like, but the Texans lost. Like, it was very difficult. Or did you just go what you usually do and just throw a bunch of, fire on your desk and was like, here's where the burns are. I'm going to read these. Here we go.
No, it was pretty easy. Outside of forgetting the Eagles. To me, it's always like, I don't really care if a team's like
very elite
7 or 3 or whatever. Like, my only thought is, who do I actually believe is the best team in the league? Easy, 49ers.
Yep.
I don't even look at like my last week's power rankings to, be like, oh, I had the Dolphins at 4. They lost. Maybe they should be in between. It's just like whatever that week and what I think that team is, I do.
Yep.
I wish I would have. Wish Will, who helps me write those, would have been like, why don't we have the Eagles on here? But I think Will is just under the impression that like they're supposed to be crazy, so I'm not going to question it.
That's fair.
Also, I think when I was going through, I was going to put the Eagles in one of the heaven, hell, or purgatory categories to do something with, and then I just forgot. I was like, who is in purgatory? I was like, I'll put Al Michaels in there. He just got shafted by CBS. So, no, I don't struggle with it. Also because, like, I put the list together after I finish Monday's episode so we can kind of get going after Tuesday's episode. It's after winners and it's just like I got to do the list fast to just get it out.
Yes, I agree.
But I will say there are so many teams that I think are just like the 8th best team in the league. Just put everybody at 8 right now. Colts are 8. Packers are an 8, even though I said I didn't even think about the Packers.
Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, God, I didn't even see it. I saw the Broncos again. Are the Broncos in the top 5, Brandon?
Top five. You can't get me out of the top 5. Now, seeing what happened to the Chargers last night, I might have dialed back the Broncos hype a bit.
Yeah, dude, you put the Broncos in the top 5 after, like, they had a good game against the Chargers, and the Raiders just put up 63 points.
Yeah.
It's a very good point, Elliot. That's a very, very good point. Oh, my God. All right, here we go. All right, so we agree with San Fran.
Yeah, I think they're the best.
San Fran. That's fine. I completely understand Ravens at 2. I was like, going to be up there too, but I was like, you know what? The Cowboys, they did enough. Like, I think that was impressive for them
That's
to
fair.
earn number
That's
2.
I think they're the 3 best teams right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Every single team left on the Chargers schedule right now is praying they keep Brandon Staley.
Yeah, we're all
Just keep him to the end of the season. Guys, don't fire him. It's not worth it.
Let's
Not
pump
worth
the
it.
brakes on Staley.
All right. So now
My biggest surprise on yours was you keeping the Dolphins up there at 5.
Yes. So this is why this is so effing difficult. Honestly, I would start HN anyway. I would start HN. Okay. So first of all, Broncos at 4, no. Bengals at 5. I put them up on the list. Sorry. Bengals at 5. They're at 8 for me. I feel like that's like solid because they're a solid team. Like Jake Browning's doing well. The Dolphins, this is my last week giving them the benefit of the doubt, and then I'm done with them. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm like, you know what? You had a cataclysmic loss of a game at the very end. Tyreek Hill got injured. Guys got banged up. Offensive line. All right. This is the only one I'm going to give you. Browns, I put all the way up at 4 because I'm just like, dude, their defense is that good. And I'm just like, I don't know. Because tell me, I wrote it out. Tell me which team, where the hell is it? I don't even know where I put it. It might be on a Google Doc. Tell me what team. The Vikings, they deserve to be in the top 10? No, now they might because after beating the Raiders. The Jaguars, it was really difficult, but I was like, you know what? Trevor Lawrence was injured. So, like,
dude, I took him out. I took him out.
Yeah. Like, Rams, I get, they were my honorable mention, right? Colts lost to the Bengals. Not going to put the Colts up there. Packers ain't going to be up there. They just lost to the Giants. Lions, I ain't putting up there. They just lost to the Bears. And the Lions have looked like garbage these past few weeks.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I struggled mightily with this. Because I was like, dude, I got no idea.
Yeah. See, I felt like I put the Rams at 10. And when I saw last week's, which was this,
Perna makes the graphics, so no.
I had the Rams at 11.
Yeah.
So without even looking at my last week, I was like, okay, I think I'm onto something with the Rams.
Yeah.
You got the Bills back up in yours at 6.
Yes.
And I put the Bills back in. I put them at 11. And I think that's just a testament to how good Josh Allen is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Bills have underperformed. And I think we're all just under the impression that they can win some games here late. And if they get into the playoffs, they have just as good a chance as any other team to make a run for it. I'm not saying they're the best team in the league, but because Josh Allen, we wrote him off. We were writing him off, and now they're back in.
If the Bills beat the Cowboys this week,
yeah,
then like all bets are off because the Dolphins, I'm like, oh, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be an issue. Nah, dude, like they come in and like they play them the last week. Like, yeah, I think they'll win because the Dolphins are doing what the Dolphins always do in December, and they're collapsing. Like I hope that's not what's gonna happen because I like the Dolphins, but also I don't think they're keeping T. Higgins. I don't think so. I think he's gonna wind up going to a different team.
T. Higgins is a Bronco, baby.
Also, hey, the Broncos did have an honorable mention. I did talk about the Broncos too. They get a nod.
That's fine.
They get a nod. Damn. Yeah, Rams, I get it. Rams, they got a shout out too. Chiefs are a weird team. Like, I felt like 6 was too high. Are you just trying to curse them even more so?
No. I'm just I set the Chiefs up. Said they have an easy schedule moving forward. One of the teams they play is the Bengals, and then I put the Bengals ahead of them. So, is it an easy schedule?
Would you have put the Eagles on here?
Where would I have put the Eagles?
Yeah, if you remembered the team.
Yeah, probably somewhere between 7 and 10 right now.
Yeah.
They're just... It's just the way they lost to the Cowboys, you know?
And the 49ers. Like, it's just I think you can make an argument for anything after 3. I think that's what the way the NFL is this year. I think you make an argument anything after 3 because I think you have like 49ers, Cowboys, Ravens, any combination of that with the 49ers on top. And then you can make an argument for the Eagles being 4 all the way down to 10.
Let's see here.
So
Let me go. Let me. This is something I thought was illuminating about the Eagles. Oh. Also, okay. So I'm on Brett Coleman's Twitter. Okay, we all love Brett.
Yes.
Except for when he talks about a player you love, and then that player just is dead. He retweets Cam Newton here, which I privately sent this video to Will in a text. I'm like, I can't take Cam Newton seriously when he's dressed like this. And he's talking about why people should take him more seriously. He's got cards in his hat, for Christ's sake.
Hey, he's dressed up as Gambit. It's fine. Gambit's awesome.
I like Cam Newton, but dude. All right, where's this Brett Coleman tweet I'm trying to find?
What are you looking for?
By
the way, Brett Coleman is a great follow if you haven't been able to see that so far. Fantastic follow.
Yeah, he does Twitter very well.
See, Colton, I disagreed. Well, I mean, like, listen, I ain't carrying that narrative. The Cowboys got my respect, especially after they got my respect after going toe-to-toe with the Eagles, and they didn't even win. Now they beat the Bills, who are a resurging team in Buffalo. No, they get all the respect.
Here we go.
The respect. Dynasty. Let's go.
Yeah. From week 9 until now, the Eagles have the 4th highest pressure rate allowed in the entire league at 40%.
Yeah.
Then the team's higher. Interesting mix there. But I think it's something we've taken for granted in that the Eagles just always have like one of the best offensive lines in football. And maybe their offensive line isn't playing as dominantly as they have, over the last 2 years or whatever. And maybe that's affecting how their offense runs, or maybe Jalen Hurts isn't playing as well, which is affecting the offensive line's pressure rate. It's probably a mix of both there. But I just think it's one of those things like it's so important for their offensive line to be dominant for the identity of the team, how the Eagles have won. And we saw it felt like the Eagles kind of got exposed against the Cowboys. So I hope that's not true, because I think the NFC kind of needs the Eagles to be very good for the playoff to be interesting, because if they're not, and there's it's just Cowboys, Niners, like just chalk it in for the championship game.
Yep. So, Judge, to answer that question, yes, Eagles need to win out for them to have a shot at the number 1 seed. Absolutely. Because they don't have it right now. They have to have it.
We're in must-win game season, right?
I didn't see that. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think it's asking Twitter. No, Joe Staley? I'm sorry. I thought I read it as Brandon Staley.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious.
Oh, sorry about that, Dane.
Said, please stop asking if I should be fired.
That's kind of amazing. Yeah. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Now, see, and Brett goes on to point out that the Eagles aren't using pre-snap motion as much as they used to. Second fewest in the league or some shit. So, it's always complicated. It's not saying that the Eagles line is suddenly bad. They just got to get back to doing what they did.
I'd go Jaden Reed, and then
who do the Titans play?
They're playing the Texans.
Who
did
the Seahawks play?
Eagles.
Yeah, I like D-Hop and Jaden Reed.
I'd probably lean towards D-Hop too.
And I'm saying that as like the Eagles secondary just got like torched, right?
Yeah.
I think that's like but I feel like the Eagles are a good enough team. They're going to bounce back. They're going to bounce back. I think that go lock it.
I would unfortunately bless like the Lions or like the Vikings. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put that up to risk. I can't.
No.
I can't. That's true. Dude, this whole game, I love how game manager has come back to, or like a system QB. Like, oh my God, I just can't anymore. I can't. Like, it's whatever.
Yeah. And that's what Cam was getting ripped for. He was calling like Dak Prescott a game manager.
Not yet, Samuel.
Who did he have in there as game managers?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I think we've been talking about that. I mean, if you've been kind of tuned into like Eagles fans, like that's what it's been. It's been the coordination, like the coordinators have been the problem, right? They're like kind of ripping them back and forth. So, it's definitely not underrated. That is kind of like near the top. I mean, Philly fans are like, I'm done with our offensive coordinator already.
Yeah, and I think like Shane Steichen leaving, that was the big loss for them because he's also doing a hell of a job with the Colts, I think. That's an under the radar like coach of the year, in my opinion, is Shane Steichen. They lost Anthony Richardson early. They're getting wins with Gardner Minshew. They're in the playoff mix. Their offense has been good. I think that was the bigger loss for them. And it's so hard. And that, again, that's why you want your head coach to be an offensive guy, because those OCs, when they're lighting it up, they gone. Teams are stealing offensive coordinators.
Look
like
at Ben
that.
Johnson, dude. Like everyone was like what, 3 weeks ago? Everyone was like, I want Ben Johnson.
Yeah. And if you're an OC and a team wants to make you a head coach, just be selective. Like, just don't jump at the first opportunity. Be selective and get yourself more money to just be an OC for a while with the team you're coaching.
I disagree. I think it's a mix. I mean, Staley's not the answer there at all. And Telesco is also bad. Yeah. And Spanos is also bad.
Nobody's had worse drafting than the Raiders, and the Raiders were the team that did that.
Dude, even Amazon showed that last night. They're like, hey, like we got like one guy in the first round that's still playing on this team, like since 2018. So I don't know about that one. I don't know about that. But anyway, want to preview some games?
Yeah, let's pull
up that ESPN game. I already started off with a big old L to start with the pick'ems, so.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
I picked the Chargers.
I picked the Raiders.
Okay.
And then after clickbait, or during clickbait, I switched it. Because Tree started talking shit about Aiden O'Connell, and I'm like, he wasn't that good. Like, they scored 0 points.
See,
I was like, and Easton Stick, a little bit of an X factor. So I'm right there with you, Tom. I switched it. I initially was like, home team, Thursday Night Football, give me the Raiders. Switched it like an idiot.
I picked the Bengals to get the win as well. I just think like they're on a streak, playing at home too. And the Vikings, like, dude, like Nick Mullins, like I don't trust him. I know Jefferson's supposed to play too, even though he's banged up. But yeah, I don't think so.
Jake Browning going to swing his big, thick, juicy arm all over that Vikings D.
I am worried. I am curious about the Vikings defense to see how they're going to look after what they did to the Raiders. I am curious.
Dude, I so want to see Browning just throw 3 touchdowns, 280 to 320 yards. Let's do it.
He did. Brandon Perna
I won my
pick'em.
Bonesaw is ready.
Yep. First one.
So, I got the Bengals.
I picked the Colts, but I completely understand why you picked the Steelers, but you're going with Trubisky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was just trying to pick the opposite of what you would pick because you're so bad with the Steelers.
Hey, I got one right last week.
I know, but I don't think that streak continues.
Okay, fine.
Also, I think... Actually, I don't even know who it's... I don't know which team I need to win this game as a Broncos fan. They're both 7-6. They're both in the mix.
You need a tie.
Yeah.
Dude, Kenny needs to come back. Well, I don't know. I think if he comes back, it's going to be like either the last game or maybe 2 games before. I think that's it. Yeah. They need him back, though, to have a shot.
This was just a gut pick. I went with my gut. Yeah. Taking the Broncos.
I went with the Broncos as well. I did.
Browns over the Bears. I did it. I'm rolling with the Browns and Joey Flacco, even though I said, a week ago, whatever, Tom.
Yep. I got the Browns. I think this could be a close game, but like, I want to see how the Bears do against that defense.
Dude, basically, this is if you're the Chicago Bears GM, Ryan Poles, all you need to do to decide whether you trade Fields or keep him is how he plays against one of the best defenses in the league. Although the Browns are banged up to hell, dude. They've lost
more players on IR. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, Stefanski deserves credit, dude, because his whole team is like on IR.
Yeah, I forget. There was like somebody I didn't even know was hurt. Like, yep, he's going to IR. I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
All right, but anyway.
Oh, there you go. Also, if the Bears beat the Browns, they could
Thanks
run
for
the
pizza.
table. I want to say that real quick for Chicago fans. If they beat the Browns, I think they can run the table.
Yeah, no, Chicago's in it. This will be a fun game. All right, Falcons, Panthers.
Falcons.
You go Atlanta.
I want the Falcons.
Sorry. This was not an easy pick. But I just think the Buccaneers are a tough team.
They are. I think it's going to be a close game. Baker Mayfield and Lambeau is hot garbage, and I'm hoping that is it. Plus, Aaron Jones, it looks like he is going to be playing this Sunday, so we might have some guys back from injury, which is very, very important. We'll see about like Jair and stuff like that. But
what was Jones' injury? Knee?
Yeah, dude, he's been dealing with a knee. I think his one was knee. This one, yeah, because he's been injured a couple times. So
yeah,
unfortunately,
okay. Yeah, this is. I mean, Packers.
It'll be a close game.
Yeah, I just didn't like that Giants game.
Right. I picked the Titans as well, and I don't know why this is so high because Stroud's not playing.
Is it he's officially out?
I'm pretty sure he's not playing because he's still in concussion protocol, right?
Yeah. The Texans would be incredibly stupid to play CJ Stroud.
He's still in concussion protocol 18 hours ago.
You don't get you cannot actually heal from a concussion in 7 days. So he saved your franchise. Let the man rest. Let CJ Stroud rest. Dear God. But I agree. Yeah, this to me was a lopsided pick here.
I know exactly why. I picked the Dolphins, but I know exactly why. I get it. I completely and totally get it.
I don't know, Miami. I like the Dolphins. I fucking love Mike McDaniel. I want to see him torch him. I do. But I said, who did the Jets just beat?
The Texans?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought the Texans were going to work the Jets defense. I was like, their defense has been good all season. They have one of the best defenses. They're going back to Zach Wilson. I just don't think there's any life left in this Jets team. I thought that last week, and the Jets proved me wrong. And now I think they're playing. They're playing for pride. I don't know what they're playing for. But yeah, I don't like the Jets defense versus anyone.
No, I get it. Brandon, by the way, it was a fake story about Caleb Williams. It was a fake story. So want to keep feels, but it was a fake story.
Oh, what was the fake story? Oh, the ownership thing? Yeah.
I know we're still talking about that like a month and a half later. Dude, but that's a thing. The amount of people who have soured on Caleb Williams, and like this is not just Brandon. There are a lot of people who are like, yeah, he wants that part. I'm like, no, it's just not that wasn't it. But dude, like this happens in like March. And like April, where you see all these stories start to come out because it's like trying to tank draft prospects and all that great stuff. Yeah, I picked the Dolphins. Yeah, he broke his thumb though, unfortunately, AJ Dillon. But dude, if they come out flat against the Jets, like the Jets could, and apparently, especially with their O-line too.
The Dolphins injuries are catching up to them. They've never had a good
there you go, Samuel.
narrative against competitive teams this season. I kept saying they're gonna break that. They're gonna break the drought against good teams. I believe in them, and they haven't. So this game's gonna be stupid. This might be one of the dumbest games of the week. Jets Dolphins.
I agree. I picked the Giants as well. Giants as well.
We're doing it.
That's true, KK. That is very, very true. The Saints, they won last week, and, you still can't be happy with it.
No, they did nothing for 3 quarters in that game.
Yeah, they beat the Panthers. Giants are on a bit of a roll. Their defense is looking good. And if their O-line can perform like they did against the Packers, they'll be great. If the Giants get their ass kicked, I am going to scream from atop a mountaintop. So that's just me personally. Just saying. Just for me.
He didn't recover from it, okay? Your brain swelling doesn't go down that fast.
Yeah. So. I mean, Brand, no, they listen, I think there's definitely concerns with Caleb Williams, but this is the kind of stuff, especially around draft time, all this crap comes out about these players. Dude, look at CJ Stroud. Right? All this stuff oh, look what he did on the test. He's so dumb. It's just, yeah. That's it. We learn now. I picked the Giants too. I picked the Chiefs. If they lose against the Patriots, oh yeah, then it's like, oh my God, full panic. I don't think they're going to lose against the Patriots, though. It has to, there has to be something going so wrong if they lose to the Patriots. And
Lord
I mean that.
Belichick, give me your greatest coached game ever.
Is that actually lit or no?
It's a foe.
Oh, okay. That scared me. I was like, did you leave that like burning on there? And okay. Whew. All right. Sorry.
Lord Belichick, destroy one Patty Mahomes. Bailey Zappi, give it to us.
But yeah, anyway, you picked the Chiefs still.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Chiefs
are coming off one of their most embarrassing losses, you know?
I got Rams winning. Yeah, Commanders coming off a bye, but yeah, it's the Rams. They've been surging late. Like they played well against the Ravens.
I saw somebody post that Sam Howell has scored more fantasy points this year than Patrick Mahomes. So,
oof,
there you go.
Yeah, San Fran and Cardinals. No, yes, that's
yeah, that was easy.
Oh!
This one was tough, but I'm going Buffalo. Oh! There you go, Buffalo. It's time to bring it back.
Yep, gotta find it. It's gotta scroll.
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time!
And that was before Bills Cowboys Super Bowl. So that's Buffalo all the way this time. If you want to go all the way, you gotta erase your horrible history, Buffalo, and beat them boys.
I picked the Bills as well.
What?
So I think and here's the thing. This is going to come off as disrespecting the Cowboys, and I feel like I've given them enough props that hopefully it won't be taken as that. But the Bills at home, if this is being played in Dallas, I have the Cowboys winning. Yeah. Being played in Buffalo, even though it's going to be a little bit warmer than usual, I am going to go with the Bills. They're just on a weird hot streak right now without Ken Dorsey, and like they just look like a gritty football team. And this seems like a game the Cowboys could drop being played in Buffalo.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a fun game, but
I think it's going to be the game of the week.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So, true story. Yeah. I picked the Ravens as well. Jaguars, man, like they're in a funk.
Down bad. They're
in a funk. Corey must have read your mind playing that clip. Let's go. Ooh, can you post all the clips you guys use on the clip channel? Maybe we could do it like as one long video or something. We'll talk to Johnny Barks. We'll talk to him. Eagles, I picked them as well. Seahawks, I think this is going to be a competitive game, though.
Yeah. Like, Seattle just always kind of hangs around. They hang around.
They do. Yeah, no, I have the Eagles. They'll have a little bit of a bounce back. But, yeah, it's going to be fun. And we'll be streaming the Sunday night game together.
Yes, we will.
Perna, what do you got coming out today? You got a new?
Yep, I shot that right before this episode of GPS, and I got to edit that.
Let's go.
And then Tommy DeVito should be coming out tomorrow morning, I think.
Beautiful.
I got too many videos this week. I'm like you.
There you go. Let's go, baby.
I'm Tom Grossi.
Let's go.
And you've been navigated.
What? Yeah, put out last night around like 12 o'clock. Chargers and Raiders fan reaction to last night.
How's that doing?
What'd you say?
How's that doing? Is it good or?
Last night it was doing well. Hold on one second. I'll let you know right this second as I also do this stuff. Friday night Q&A, and then tomorrow, 4 p.m. Oh yeah, it's got 152. Yeah, it's 2 out of 10. Not bad.
Nice.
We rock. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. to midnight, 8-hour charity fundraising stream. Brandon Perna will be there for 30 minutes as well. Raising money for OAR, the Organization for Autism Research. It's going to be phenomenal. It's the best stream of the year. Have some phenomenal guests. It's going to be a grand old time. Come join.
And I got Lions Broncos tomorrow. Shit.
Yes, you do.
Ah, dang it.
Yes, you do.
Woo!
But, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back. You'll see us both tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. And you have been navigated. Maybe, Samuel. Potentially.
Reach your destination. Are you in heaven?
What?